Yeah, I have a thing. Oh, you're recording? Are you? Oh, we're live. Excellent. Yay, we're live.
Good afternoon, Facebook, Face and family. Good morning, Canada. Good afternoon, UK. Good evening, Bulgaria. And hello to everyone across the globe. Today, it's Monday. We're starting again with our show Success It's in Our Identity. And my dear guest, it's lovely Marianne Padjan from Canada.
Hi,
Marianne.
Hi, Bulgaria. Hi, everyone else.
Yes, we made the bridge once again, Bulgaria, Canada, and we continued with our good friendship because of our mutual friend, Robert Moore. I just want to see how is in Facebook. You know, am we live there? Can we see? Yes, we are. Yes, wonderful. So, Marianne, it is so much. I was so thrilled when Robert introduced both of us, and I was so thrilled of your story, your life story, and how much you have achieved. And because we're speaking here about the success and what does it mean to start the business, to grow the business, to finish, to start another one. What does it mean actually to know your gifts and talents, to tap on them and to use them successfully in life? Because that's what had happened. And I'm going to say a few words about you and you're going to add the rest because there's so much to say about you. Okay. So you're born in the Balkans, is that correct?
Yes. I was born in Croatia. And I left Croatia with my parents when I was 6 years old. And then when I was, and I can't even remember, I think I was 20 or 18 or 19. And I went to go to university for a year in Croatia. And I was just kind of hanging out and loving it. So I came back home. After that, I stayed here for about a year. And then I went back and I stayed there for, I can't even remember exactly how many years each time, but I went back and forth a few times. So altogether in Croatia, I was there for about 12 years and I got married there. And then we both came here. And yeah, it was an amazing trip. So I love Croatia, of course. That's why I was going to say it's Bulgaria, Canada, and Croatia.
It is beautiful. That's why I decided to start from there, because this is another Balkan blood, actually, Balkan identity, which we are related also with. So, Marianne, you've been in the well-being industry and well-being field, and both actually we had relationship with Elizabeth Arden.
Oh, yes. So a long time ago, I am also an esthetician amongst many things. I actually learned how to on one of my stays in Croatia, I learned how to massage there and I loved it. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to go and get my aesthetics license. So I went to school. And once I finished, I ended up at one point working at Elizabeth Arden here in Toronto, and actually not even just Toronto, it was all of Southern Ontario at that time. We had a store here called Eaton's many years ago, and since it's shut down. So then we had the Red Door Spa, then we had everything. So I used to work as an esthetician and I would do services as well, but I was also a trainer and then like a sales trainer also. So I would go to the various locations and that was super fun. So I get to do makeup. I get to play everything a little girl's dreams are made of. I used to put makeup on people and sell the products, and it's great. You get to talk to people and you get to help them feel better about themselves, right? Because the minute you put makeup on someone who's not used to it, you can't look worse. Well, you can, I guess, if you do it wrong. So I'm gonna assume I didn't do it wrong.
So actually, from there and working on people for their outside beauty, you move further deep insight to work with and to take out actually the best from people and to help them to develop and to show their beauty.
Right.
To work on their beauty much deeper, but to show out their beauty even without makeup.
Yes, well, so from there, when the stores closed down, I went on and eventually I opened up my own spa, and I had that for, geez, it was almost 12 years. And
wow.
So, yeah, and so while I was doing that, I decided to take, because I've always loved yoga, so I got my teacher's training in Kundalini yoga, and then I also I was renting a space, and then I took the space right beside me for the yoga studio. So now I had a spa and a yoga studio. And then at some point in time in there, I decided it would be a really good idea, I don't know why, to have a store as well. So the yoga studio was beside the spa, right beside, next door to each other in the same building. And down the street from there, I rented out another space, which was huge, and I made another healing space with different rooms. And we also had a yoga space there as well, but we had other things like belly dancing and other classes, anyways, like abs and whatever. I rented it off to different instructors. And downstairs was the store. So we'd have, it was called Angels Gather Here, and the other one was called Angelic Light Healing Studio.
It's amazing. And you went and you learned Reiki, you became a Reiki master.
That was a long time ago, though. I've been a Reiki master for like 35 years.
Okay.
Yeah, Reiki, and oh my gosh, I learned all this other
meditation,
healing stuff, right? And so then I started to get into meditating. I've been meditating since I was 15 years old. So really technically 16, I guess, but really I started at 15. Didn't really know what I was doing. Didn't realize I was meditating, but yeah. So then as I moved forward, I kept learning more and more healing traditions versus the, doing the nails. And so I passed those services along to the girls that were working with me. And I did more of the Reiki. And then I started teaching Reiki, started teaching classes more and more. And yeah, it just.
And you added the coaching as well. So self-love.
Yes. I've done coaching forever. I consider all of that as,
intuitive empowerment. Self-love.
Yes, self-love is my
and you organize retreats as well. So
yes.
There's so much into the well-being field.
Yes, a lot actually. Retreats, local ones, and we started with international ones. I've done one in Hawaii, but I haven't done one anywhere else because of course COVID came along and we weren't, travel is still not fully secured, but I think by next year I'll be doing my my international retreats again. So we'll be doing that. I've done numerous workshops in person, and I'm working on a few automated ones. So I'm finding myself doing more collaborative work lately.
Yes.
So,
but it is very interesting. I started with the well-being because that is including the self-development. We cannot go run and help others if we don't actually work firstly on ourselves. And I can see how much you have done and to reach and to move to another field, which are self-empowerment reset. Perfect. So we are going there because, as you're a multiple entrepreneur, successful, you're multiple talented lady, and tapping into your talents, you have done so much, so well. And it is that, you're going to share what is the key ingredients. But before that, you move into the writing books, self-reset. You have written 3, 4 on yours or 5, and you co-writed another 15 books. It's
Yes.
huge.
So let's give Robert some kudos, because Robert is responsible for a lot of my success. You know, I'm not saying I don't do my part, because you still have to do your part, no matter how great and
Sure.
awesome your coach is. But my coach really is amazing. So Robert J. Moore is an amazing course. So this is one of his books, but I'm in, I don't even know. I think it's about 16 books that are collaboratives that are not mine that I'm in. So this one is the latest one. I just happen to have it here. This one also is a book with Bob Proctor. And I'm so honored that I managed to get into a book with him before he passed away. I love him. He's so amazing. And Douglas Vermeer and Don DiMartini, like they're all from The Secret. Here's another one that I'm in with Robert too. He's, yeah, we have some pretty cool stars in here too. So this is an older picture of me. And then there's Robert, for those of you who don't know who he is. He's absolutely amazing. He just had a birthday.
Yeah, the day before, yes.
Yeah, and we were all at his birthday.
Was it the huge party as he planned to be?
It was big. It was big. Yeah. And there was a lot of people, and I was there all day. So it was really good. And so he's the one that encouraged me to open up my own publishing company. And so this is the first book I did. So this Self-Empowerment Reset, these books are, this is a series of 12 books. So this was the first, Self-Empowerment Reset. The Perfect Time Is Now. So they all have the title Self-Empowerment Reset. And then each one has a different subtitle. So this one is Self-Empowerment Reset, Radical Self-Love. That's my favorite subject, is radical self-love. And that's what I end up teaching. And then I do have a book that I've done all by myself. And that is Meditation Minute with Marianne. So Meditation Minute with Marianne it's a nice little thin book that you can take with you if you're scared of flying or wherever you go. And so Meditation Minute with Marianne was born during COVID. So everybody started to get stressed out, and I thought I'd like to do something to help, right? So I started posting, I thought, you know what, I'm going to start posting meditations on social media, on Facebook, and let's see if it helps anybody, right? So I thought, you know, what should I do? And I thought, you know what, I'll do a minute, because anybody can do meditation or anything. Anybody can do anything for 1 minute.
True.
And I thought, you know what, let's do it. So I'd say a few words, I'd do the meditation, I'd say a few words, and we're done. The video's maybe 2 minutes long, 1.5 minutes, 3 minutes if I'm really talkative that day, which does happen. And sometimes 4 minutes, but usually we're in the 2.5 minute zone or 2 minute zone. And, you know, I got some nice likes and responses. It was like, oh, and then, you know, a couple of thanks for doing this. This was good. And I'm like, okay, I'll do more. So then I started doing them basically almost every day. And then one day I had a gentleman reach out to me. And he said, I want you to know, and he reached out to me privately. He goes, I want you to know that today was a really tough day for me. And he goes, my plan was to commit suicide today.
Oh my God.
And I saw your video and I did what you said. And I listened to what you said. And I think I said something extra that day that must have just, you know, like, you know, do this and you're worth it or something, or you're enough, which I sometimes do. And he said, I heard what you said. I did the meditation and it instantly switched something in me and I decided to live.
Amen.
And I was like, wow, if all the meditations in the entire universe I've ever done lead to one person and saving their life or helping them in that manner, I'm good with that. I've done my duty. So that's what I love. You know, I went to Robert's birthday party this weekend and I met a whole bunch of people that, you know, we've all been doing business and stuff together for maybe 2 years, but we've never met. And there was a lady there that I had done a treatment on and we'd never met. And she brought me a thank you card and a gift and all this stuff. And I'm like, really? Because she goes, I couldn't even get up out of bed before I talk to you. And she goes, I can't tell you what you've done. I can't. She goes, I don't think I can express what you've done for me. So though, you know, of course it's important to make a living. You know, I have a mortgage like everybody else, you know what I mean? Like it's important to have money, but that's what it's all about. It's
Helping others.
thank yous. I love those things. Like if I could, I would do everything for free. Like I would just do it. And, you know, if somebody could just pay my mortgage and, you know, all that. But honestly,
I know this desire. I know this desire.
Yeah, and that's really the real reason that we do it. Everything else is extra, right? Because that's when you do it with passion.
True, true. This when comes from our heart, and it is your gift. And this is why the gift is given to us, to be used not just for us, not just for ourselves, but to help others. But also with your publishing company, you're helping young children as well. And you were starting a new project with UK, I remember.
Yes, so yeah, they're not so young, but the youth, it's a youth program, and it's they have like a Euro card and a code. It goes through the website. So we're just waiting for some final, we're actually finalized. We're just waiting to get me up, I guess, add me onto the website. And so it's a youth program in all of Europe.
It's amazing.
And it's spreading into North America and a few other places. And so what they do is they help. So this is my girlfriend's husband. He's a director for the company, and he operates out of Belgium, or that's where his office is. And so what they do is they have a youth program for all the youth in all of Europe, and they're always trying to help them and encourage them and motivate them to become entrepreneurs. And so anything that will help you become an entrepreneur. So of course I put my publishing company in there. You offer up a discount. So I offered up 20%. And so all the youth, and youth being anywhere from, I believe it's 14 to, in some countries it's 27, and in some countries it's 30, which is really great.
So what these people, so because people are listening, mommies are listening to us, and what it's your actually suggestion to them if they really pay interest into, and we were going to post your email address, how they to reach out if they wish to get into this program, who they need to approach.
So they have to, well, they have to already have the card, right? So that I don't,
Sure.
It's different in each country. I'm not part of that. I wouldn't know how to help you to get it, but it's a Euro card. It's offered to youth. It's a youth program for Euro youth. You know what? I'd have to figure out the website, but I don't know.
No, we can post this later on. Yeah. I just want to clarify the message.
Yeah, it's different. I guess it's different in each country. So they have to go to whoever they have to go to in their own countries. And yeah, and then just get onto the website, get in contact with me. That's how you get the 20% off. So it's 20% off of anything that they decide to do. So it could be a full book. It could be a full book on your own, or it could be you coming into maybe one of my books. And people tend to want to start that way because it's easier. So I sell off chapters. So I have like 15 people in that one. I think in this one we have 12. And so I sell off the chapters, and that's an easier way to start because it's easier to write one chapter. You create a bio, and then you're kind of in the mood. And then if you do a couple of those, and then you get into writing your own book if you want. Books are phenomenal for business. They are one of the best marketing tools that you could ever imagine. And it's amazing. Not only will you feel good, like I just did the real estate book. So we just launched this yesterday. Oops. And
I saw this. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yeah, it went international bestseller in 5 categories. So we just launched it yesterday.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yes, this is officially my 4th book. So I'm going to tell you something. I'm a horrible speller. I did really well in school with spelling, but then I went off. I write fast, I think fast, and therefore I just lose a lot of stuff. So I'm not a great speller. I certainly never thought I was any good at writing. I'm great at motivating people. I'm great at inspiring people. I'm great with talking with people, but writing was like, that was so completely foreign to me. So I started writing 2.5 years ago. And I now own, I am in at least 15 or 16 books of other people's, and I have 4 of my own. I have a 5th one that is coming out in about 2 weeks, and I will probably have 4 of them coming out this year, if not more. And I
This
just
is incredible.
and I'm also, I just want to say, I'm 60 years old. I'm not young. I didn't start at, I don't have any rules that I follow inside of my head. I just did it.
But Marianne, that's what, I'm so excited about you. And this, you could not see the age, firstly, but secondly, this energy, usually growing up, we're losing the energy because of the lack of the estrogen in us and also progesterone. But you are full of energy. You're also running the radio station with Robert Moore. You're also running the estate agency. You are in Forbes, and I would like you to say more about this as well, because we can, spend easily a few hours talking about what you have done in your life and how easy is everything.
Right. So I just do want to mention, when it comes to the writing, if you I like talking, I like inspiring people. So if you just take those same words and you start writing them on paper, just start. Just do it. I'm thinking of doing a bit of a workshop on it, because people get scared, but I'm going to tell you, this book is full of agents, real estate agents, that have never written one word other than, in the real estate MLS sheet where we have to describe a house. Other than that, they've never written. They were beside themselves as to how they could do, now they have a book, that they're in with their name on it or in it, a chapter. So it's phenomenal. Just start. It's just like everything else. And 2.5 years later, I have my own publishing company. Really? In my whole life, I never thought I would ever own a publishing company. I thought, are you kidding me? I can't edit. I can't do this. I can barely write, and so because I'm passionate about what I'm writing, that comes off the paper and into the person. And so that's where you go with it. You just do it. And it's amazing. And you know what? I thought, I can't do this. You get an editor. You get someone who's talented and doesn't have, you don't need to know everything. This goes for everything. And then you just keep going and you just keep going, and you don't, we just had a 2-day conference with real estate. There was all these people, I don't know how to start this. I was 50 years old when I got my real estate license. So I've been doing it now for 10 years. I never thought I would change my career so many times. And I went from the spa to a bank to a mortgage agent to real estate. So it was just the journey is, you go to one to the other to the other.
But
so
what made you to move from one field to another and to be successful in each one? It doesn't matter.
I literally can't even answer that question, because it was things just got presented to me. So I went to a networking event. I met the manager of the bank there, and she and I hit it off so well. We were talking business, we were doing this, and she goes, I need your sales expertise. I need your energy in my bank. Do you think you could come in part-time? So I started doing part-time work, and she goes, you'd make a great lender. So then I went into lending mortgages. You'd be a great mortgage agent. And I went from one to the other to the other. And then, in Canada, you got to get you don't have to have a license if you're working in a bank, but you do if you work independently. So then I wanted to get, and work independently. So then I got my license, and then it was my friend said, you should come and do real estate with me. Go get your license. And I'm like, okay. So I signed up for the course and I did it. And I got a very high mark on the first course, and I thought, okay, this is a good sign. So I kept going, and then you just keep going, and whatever's, you kind of pay attention to what comes in front of you, right? And then after that, I bumped into another friend on Facebook, and thank God for social media, right? And she said, because we used to go to college together here, at Sheridan. Oh, here. Sorry, I keep forgetting you're not in Canada.
Hi, Marianne. Do you hear me?
Yes. Do you not hear me?
Hi.
Hi, do you hear me? Yeah. So
sorry, I don't hear you.
Okay. I can hear you.
Oh, great, great.
I can hear you. Yeah. So then I bumped into another friend, and she had a recruiting company, so like a headhunting company where we match people up with jobs. So I did that for 8 years. That was a lot of fun. And then all of a sudden COVID came, things changed, and I thought, okay, let's go do this and let's try some real estate again, because I'd taken a bit of a break from real estate, and now that is just like, yeah, I'm loving it. Like, it's too much fun. And I love my company. EXP is so amazing. And the fact that they're literally all over the world now, and they're the most virtual company, which is so funny because I'm so not techie. Okay, there's another thing. I went into the biggest real estate company that rules, and everything is cloud-based. Okay, I didn't even know what cloud-based means when I joined the company. Okay, so like, I just do it. I don't really get that scared of you should just go for it. Life is short. Do it. Like,
so this is the key, actually.
yes.
Just to go ahead and to do it without thinking, without when we overthink, we just
Yes.
don't do things.
Yeah, you got to stay straight here and keep the outside voices out of your head, and also find a way to calm the inside voices, because sometimes they'll come up, right? So
Very true.
I call it staying in your own lane. Stay in your own energy, do what you have to do. Like, when I know I can feel stuff coming up for me, and then I'll try to see if I can just take a couple of days away from people, either go away or try to just stay out of stay on my own as much as I can within my own energy, to see what is it that's coming to me, right? Like, what idea is coming next. And other times I just keep going along, and something will come up. And same thing with Forbes. In order to get into Forbes, you have to have been in 2 other major magazines prior to that. And I've also had, so I have an article that is in a Thrive Global, which is same company as HuffPost, right? It's Ariana Huffington's, who I love and adore. And sheownsit.com. That's also an online magazine for women entrepreneurs. And then I got into USA Today. And I'm still about to just come out in Maxim. So it's queued, it's all ready to go. And I'm already in, I have been mentioned, I believe, twice in Forbes. And now there's also an article. So yeah, but not just yet, it's coming out. So, so there's, but
so you started learning aesthetic and doing the holistic work, and you ended up in Forbes after many different changing the jobs and starting many different companies.
Well, before aesthetics, I was actually in retail for 22 years. So okay. I've done a lot of things. So I was in retail before I got into that. Then as I was in retail, I ended up managing a spa/makeup studio. Like, it was, it's a well-known name here, but not so much over in Europe. And so I think that was part of it. And then I went off on my own, and yeah, one thing just led to another.
But one of your gifts, I can see, it's communications. And if we're not good with communications, and if we're not open actually, and the fear to be operated, we just to go ahead and to be consistent what we're doing, then you wouldn't be where you are right now.
Yes, but I'm going to tell you, I have a spiritual coach, I have a real estate coach, and I have my branding coach, which is Robert, and business coach, and now he's my business partner. So Robert and I co-own Magnetic FM Radio together. My publishing company is called MPowered Voice Publishing, and it's actually a sister offshoot of Robert's Magnetic Entrepreneur publishing company. So yes. We're working together on that one. And we're also putting, I'm going to announce this, we're also putting a mastermind together. I believe we're starting it in July, and then if not in July, then August for sure. And you will love that. So you get
amazing.
Robert and myself. And we're going to be doing training. It's just going to be like one big giant, you know, you're going to get so much information.
Amazing.
It's going to be like a coaching. I don't want to say it's a coaching session, but there'll be, you know, some networking, whatever. It'll be amazing. You absolutely have to. So just, you know, I'm on.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It's coming up. It's just because we were both working on this. I have the book. I still have one more that I have to release this month before we start. And not this month, but I forgot it's only, we're still in May. See, I'm always thinking ahead. And yeah, you just got to keep going. You got to keep going, and you got to do some of the work. Like I said, you can't just appear in Forbes, but I will tell you that Forbes, every year since I was 19 years old, I make 100 goals every year on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's, you know, within that time frame. This year I made 121. And so Forbes, getting into Forbes was number one on my list. And we announced this yesterday. So May 29th, and I've already achieved my number one goal, which I wasn't even sure it was
amazing. After how many years?
Not after how many years. No, I just this year.
No.
Year.
When did you put this as a goal number one?
This year.
Okay, congratulations.
Every year I do 100 goals, and this year it was my number one goal. So my number two goal was to do a flip, and I'm doing that. So a house flip. I don't know if you guys all know what that means. You buy a house that doesn't look so good, you fix it up, and then you sell it. And I'm doing that with a client of mine, actually, who's a contractor. So like, it's, you know what, sometimes don't listen to other people, just write down what you want and stick with it and imagine it. Oh, one day I'm going to be on Forbes. This is going to be good. One day.
So you gave quite a few advices. What would you give to the very young people who are just finishing school now or university? They're not very aware of what exactly they want to do. If they're a bit of like you, with multi-talented and have one idea, and then the crossroad, what will be your advice? So
one, read. Okay, so read books, because that's a inexpensive way of getting. Now, if you have the money to actually get yourself some coaching is amazing. You can take classes, you can take these mastermind groups. I'm telling you, if you are looking to get into business and you're looking to be entrepreneurial, this mastermind class is for you. It's a less expensive way of getting some coaching and ideas. And, you know, I think the number that Robert has is like, if you bring in 2 people, you get it for $83 a month. And that's 83. I think it's US. I'm going to say it's US, just because that's the currency that everybody kind of uses out here. But if you bring in 2 people, $83 a month, that's phenomenal. I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have seen people like Tony Robbins, Les Brown, like I don't even know how many times. And they're not the only ones. I've had various healing classes. I've gone all over the world. I've been in Switzerland to courses. I took courses when I was in Croatia. I've taken courses in, oh my gosh, in all kinds of places in North America, maybe Hawaii was one of my favorite places to go take classes, because who doesn't want to go to Hawaii? So I've actually been to Hawaii 7 times, which is amazing. And
it's one of the places Tony Robbins love.
Yes, of course. And my friend actually met her husband at a Tony Robbins conference. So
okay, amazing.
A lot of people did, right? So definitely classes, reading, and journaling. And get yourself a coach. Like I said, by all means, get yourself a coach as soon as you can. So I'm an intuitive empowerment coach, because I work with intuition. And because it's easy for me. It's funny, because one of my clients today said, she goes, you know, I haven't really been journaling in the last week or so. And I go, I know, I can tell. And she goes, how do you know? And I go, because I've been coaching for 35 plus years. And I know what you look like and what you sound like, and the words coming out of your mouth when you're journaling and when you're not. And I go, you haven't been meditating either. And she goes, no. And I said, so you have to, you must meditate. You must journal. Everybody can afford some paper, okay, if nothing else. If you have a pretty journal, like I have a gajillion journals. Okay, this one's crazy. Look at this. I have journals with, like, there's so many. I can't even, you know, it's just, I can't show them all to you. You know, then I've got pretty picture ones.
Sure. The most important is to write this down.
Yeah, so I've got my real estate ones. I've got goals all the time. I write goals all the time. Like, all of these things don't cost very much money. Anybody can afford them. But again, if you can afford a coach, that's the best, because then the coach will tell you every day what you need. Well, not every day, but they'll tell you every week or every whatever, you know, sessions and how to do it. And they'll hold your hand through the whole thing. I have three major people that I consult all the time. And it's amazing, you know, and
the results are really, we grow much faster and we don't go left and right. It's just the path it's traced before us.
Keep moving forward and stop listening to other people. You know, if your friends are negative all the time, look at, I have friends that I've been friends with for well over 40 years because we went to high school together and stuff. And not all of us think the same, you know, not all of them, just because I do this doesn't mean they all follow me. And you know what? I still love them. But I can't do business with them in that way, you know, and some of them I can do business with. And it's just, we're all different. It's still, everything is still the same. But if someone starts to be really, really negative, then I step away from those people. Like, I can't, you know, I love you from a distance, but I can't have negativity around me. And sometimes if I'm working on a project, like I have something specific, like, okay, I've got a book coming out or whatever, I need so much positivity. I want nothing. I don't want to hear one no or one single negative word, you know? And if you've been around me and you are my friend, I'm probably going to annoy you at some point, because I go so Pollyannic positive that it can actually disturb people who are, you know, negative by nature. So I'm just like, they're like, you can't get into Forbes. Like, who do you think you are? And I'm like, I'm going to Forbes. I'm getting into Forbes. Like, I'm getting there. I'm not going to say when,
but this is the way.
This year, I'm getting there this year. So I'm going, but if you don't want me to go over there and stay away from me. And until I get into Forbes, I'm not talking to you anymore, you know, because I don't want any of that to seep into here. Like, I'm pretty good at keeping that out, obviously. I've been doing it.
But this is amazing. This is amazing.
You're so human. So you got to shut off all the stuff that's negative. And stay positive.
And if we don't actually draw our boundaries, and if we're not careful, we can end up not fulfilling our mission. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm a human being. If I was, you know, surrounded by 50 people that were all yelling negative words at me, it would have an effect on me. It's just, it goes through your cells and into your body. It goes through your skin and into your cells, is what I like to say.
Very true.
So you can't even avoid it. You know, there's a certain amount that you can stay strong and you can do that. But like, look at all the wonderful things that happen to a lot of people. They go to jail and then they come out educated, this, that, all these changes. Other people just sit there and do that. So we're all the same, you know, and you have to respect everyone's journey. And that's what it is. But if you want to go here and you want some help and you're open, then I'll work with you. But I say no to clients. They're like, oh, I'm this, or we start and they're like, you're like this, no, I'm not doing this for you. I'm just here to guide you. I'm going to point here, go here, go here, go here, do this, do that. And this will get you to over here. I have a reason for everything. I have a client, she fights me on a lot, but she is moving. You know, she moves and she does see it and she appreciates it, but she'll like go back for, I don't know, maybe a week, and then she'll go into some crazy resistance. And I'm like, and she's like, oh, you know, then she'll come out of it and she'll say, well, you know, I had to, and I go, I know the routine. I know the journey. I know where you're at. I know that sometimes we go, then we hit a bit of a resistance panel, then we go. I know all that. That's part of the journey, but you got to keep going. You can't stop. This is my favorite saying. in the whole wide world. This
And
is
just
it.
keep the energy moving, as we know that everything is energy. Yes.
I can and I will.
Yes.
Everything else is a who cares.
Yeah.
Everything else doesn't make any sense. Everything else doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he said. It doesn't matter what she said. It doesn't matter what they think of you. Who cares? Get other people. Get other people around you, ones that think like you and ones that think better than you. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm going to be bored. I need people who are challenging me all the time.
True.
All the time. I want to be like them. I want to learn. I have
Without challenge, we cannot actually.
I have a client now. He is like so the complete opposite of me. He is like super disciplined. Again, I'm not that I'm disciplined compared to other people, but this guy is so, he gets up at exactly the same time every day. And I'm like, wow, that to me is fascinating because I work in like a chaotic schedule all the time. And I coach people. So I have Australia, I have the UK, I'm on crazy time zones all the time. So I'm working, sometimes I'm coaching at 3 o'clock in the morning, my time, you know, and he's like, how do you survive? I'm thinking, how do you survive? Because how awesome is it that you wake up every single day at the same time? He works till the same time. He works, you know, and he's 66. Like he's not even young, like super young. I mean, he's young, of course.
Yes.
Young. But we're not talking about, hey, he's a 24-year-old or something, you know, with a, but he's like super. And I go, what are you thinking of retiring? And he goes, I'm not. And he goes, how about you? I go, me retire? Retiring for me is going to be, I'm going to do retreats and I'm going to work on meditation and maybe.
And to be more useful to people. Yes.
And I'll be more coaching and I'll do the retreats. Okay. That might be some version of retirement for me, but I don't think I'm going to stop anytime.
Happy and fun retirement, never to be
Yeah.
bored.
Right?
Well, because the time is really running fast, I'm afraid we need to go into wrapping up. What will be your final words?
My final words are don't stop, keep going. I can't stress this enough. And you know what? My favorite thing to say, which is my first book, that's what it's about, is forget about the procrastination and perfection. Do not wait until this is perfect. You know, when I get this, then I'm going to do that. When I get this, no. The perfect time is right now. Jump into it, sign up for the course, I don't know, rent the space that you want for whatever it is you want, get a coach if you can, and start
and do it now.
Start journaling, start meditating, and start today.
Thank you so much.
Go meditate for 1 minute and then extend that into a half an hour.
Expanding. Yes, today is the day. Thank you so much, Marianne. I truly believe that, you know, we will have another meetings as well. It was amazing. The time just ran. I did not realize how. Wishing you great success with Robert and with the new project and all the projects you have started and you have planned. We are halfway through in this year. I'm sure that by the end of the year, you're going to share more achievements. So thank you everyone watching us. Put your questions down. I will refer to Marianne. I'll post her email address, also the website. So how to approach her. If you're interested, if you're a mother or grown-up child and if you're interested in the project she just mentioned, which is the European International Project, please write us and we will come back to you. And everyone, have absolutely amazing, the new month it's starting, amazing month ahead. And as you heard Marianne, don't procrastinate, don't be perfectionist, don't wait until tomorrow. Do it now. Goodbye from me, Galia Akimova, from Marianne, from Canada and Bulgaria. And we are looking forward to be connected with you in the future as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Connect with me on social media.
Thank you. We're still live. I need to get out from here.